All right, now let's shift our attention to the other big story that we are tracking here in WION. And this, of course, has got to do with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz's visit to China. Well, Olaf Scholz has now met with the Chinese President Xi Jinping, and with this, has in fact become the first G7 leader to visit China since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, according to Olaf Scholz, he's urged the Chinese President Xi Jinping to use Beijing's leverage and influence on Moscow to stop the war in Ukraine. Now, Olaf Scholz has also called on the Russian President Vladimir Putin to prolong a deal allowing for the safe passage of the Ukrainian grain shipments to avert a hunger crisis in the world. The Chinese President Xi Jinping touted the need for greater cooperation between China and Germany. The Beijing also said that this, of course, is crucial in times of change and turmoil. Now, the stakes are high, and of course, this is a visit that is being watched by many very, very closely, and it remains to be seen if Germany will reduce its economic reliance on China.
In that respect, it's good that we will have a very intensive exchange on all issues we want to and can discuss in regard to our bilateral relations, the possibilities to further intensify economic cooperation, as well as, of course, the issues where we pursue different perspectives. That's the goal of a good exchange, and I'm delighted that this is a possibility together here today.
The trip comes amidst the rising voices within Olaf Scholz's coalition, who've been calling for a rethink of Germany's China policy. Now, Beijing has been Berlin's biggest trading partner for the last 6 years, but in a bid to try and address the rising geopolitical tensions, the current three-party coalition government has announced its intention to reduce its economic dependence and to strengthen relations with other democratic nations in Asia. Now, according to a recent survey, 1 in 2 Germans hope that Germany's economy can actually be more independent of China. The West is also cautiously watching Scholz's one-day visit to China, especially after one of Europe's largest ports, the Hamburg port, joined forces with a Chinese shipping giant. And we earlier spoke with our correspondent Patrick Falk, and he gets us more details on the story.
Well, the key takeaway, certainly for China, was that this, as many analysts have said, is a win because it comes shortly after President Xi Jinping secured a historic third term as China's leader. And so many analysts believe that this legitimizes his power grab, some would say, and legitimizes his new government as well. But, you know, this really has been a trip that is very much focused on commercial tie-ups. We're still waiting to hear what sort of developments there have been on that front following Olaf Scholz's meeting with Premier Li Keqiang. Remember, he was accompanied by 12 business executives from Germany. But, you know, certainly, like you say, a lot of people back home in Germany have been saying that the country needs to reduce its reliance on autocracies like China, particularly following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. But the reality is that Germany is facing some severe economic headwinds, record high inflation, looming recession, and Chancellor Scholz is certainly of the view that cooperation with the world's second largest economy is absolutely necessary, like it or not.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.